Hi guys, it's the 38th episode of Prompt Squad, and the prompt for this month was Draw This in Your Style, suggested by Emily. The Draw This in Your Style challenge is kind of a big Instagram challenge, I think it was originally, where an artist uploads a piece of their art and then encourages other artists to recreate that artwork in their own style. And to be fair, I think the Prompt Squad challenge kind of takes a lot of those same ideas too. It's really lovely to see how really defined your own style is whilst appreciating other artists' work. So I think this is a really nice thing to bring into the Prompt Squad challenge and kind of merge together this month. And so, for the sake of Prompt Squad's take on this challenge, I did decide to finally bite the bullet and create my own Draw This in Your Style piece, so that you guys had the option to take on my art style if you fancy doing it. And for this video, I'm going to show you a quick speed paint of how I made that piece, before getting into all the wonderful entries that we had this month. Okay, so when I was thinking about a piece to do for this, I thought it'd be nice to try and base it on maybe some characters and a setting that I felt I gravitate towards the most in my art. And if you followed me for a little while now, you know that I love drawing water and kappas and red pandas, so I thought, you know, why not put them all together this time? So even though I knew I wanted these features to be in it, I really wasn't sure how I wanted it to look or what kind of story I thought the illustration should tell. So I busted out my iPad and I just did some rough sketches to outline rough shapes and composition that I was looking for. And in the end, I just did the full piece on there. I used different colours for the characters and some of the background and foreground layers as I'm sketching so that I could move them around in place as I needed to, and that kind of helped myself as well, just to making a clear and easier to understand illustration overall, because I could see the different parts and give things different importance as I saw fit. And then once I had this sketch all sorted out, I moved on to blocking out my colours, and to be honest, my original plan was to block it all out, you know, as you should, but then, you know, I got started on that red panda and I mean, you can tell what happened in the video, I just couldn't help myself. I ended up finishing it off before doing anything else. Normally, I think I'm pretty good with doing each stage as I go along, but I don't know, I think it might be with iPad and Procreate. I think maybe I'm just a bit too spoilt for choice. It's a little bit too easy to paint on it, because I end up going down rabbit holes and adding extra details immediately on there. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, I think, especially when it came to this piece. And by that I mean sorting the overall colour palette, because by choosing such a specific colour palette for the red panda immediately, it kind of affected the direction I could really go with the rest of the illustration that would, you know, be a complementary colour. So what I decided to do to make sure all the colours harmonised was I ended up going down a complementary colour palette route of purples, oranges and greens, which, to be honest, I kind of like how it turned out. I don't often paint water in this kind of purple tone instead, but I think against the greens of this scene, kind of gave it a bit more of like a moodier atmosphere than I think I originally was imagining for this sketch. Maybe a bit more mystery too, which I really liked. And, you know, maybe if I had planned it all out, I wouldn't have done that. So, you know, sometimes it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Anyway, that's the bright way of looking at it. Honestly, I wasn't sure how this painting was going to go because, like I said last video, I was a bit worried about making this piece at all and doing this challenge, but I ended up really liking just delving into this because it was kind of an odd project. It's like I'm trying to draw in my own style And it's funny to see just the decisions that you make in that kind of mindset. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't done a Draw This in Your Style challenge, I'd give it a go. It's fun. Even if you don't ask other people to do it, it's kind of funny to try and paint something in your own style. It makes you look at what you do in a kind of different way, like from an outside perspective. Okay, so this is Future Jasmine, as I kind of edited this video in 2 sessions, and this is me kind of month into this new job, post-COVID, which I caught like immediately at that new job, and it's taking me so long to get better. And yeah, I'm just struggling to keep this deadline, so I'm really sorry guys, but I want to get into it. Let's see all the wonderful art that you guys have created. Zoe did this amazing painting inspired by my Draw This in Your Style, and guys, I've been blushing all month seeing your takes on my painting. I feel very honoured that you've all taken the time to bring like your own creativity and art to it, and just your own time. Thank you so much guys. And yeah, on to Zoe's. I love that Zoe took both of these characters and made them so ridiculously cute. I mean, that Kappa, oh my god, it's so perfect. I just want a plush of it. And, you know, just using Turning Red as well for the inspiration of the Red Panda, it's just genius. I love that movie. And using the character and linking the 2 pieces together by breaking the frames and then matching the backgrounds, it's just brilliant, Zoe. I absolutely love it. Top marks. Far Photos created this wonderfully textured interpretation of my painting that really incorporates all these different brushstrokes to give the art so many more layers and depth. It's a really cool art style, and I think it just brings a lot to the subject too. She also created this painting for Zoe's Draw This in Your Style too, which I love because not only do I always love to see you guys supporting each other and growing together, but also by seeing her interpret 2 different artists, like their pieces of art, artists, you can really see and enjoy her style. You can see how unique it is. And yeah, I think that's just wonderful. I think it's really exciting to see how there are so many like similarities but differences. It's fantastic. Sean's take on my Draw This in Your Style really plays with the composition and also adds this beautiful watercolour textures that blends and morphs around the characters. I'm sure you're bored of me at this point talking about how much I love painting water by now, but I just can't help myself when I look at this painting. The light on the water that Sean's achieved, the blending that he's achieved, with the paint, how it all flows, and just, it's lovely to behold. I absolutely love it. And the way that they both kind of mimic each other's shapes, the 2 characters in the water, it gives it such a nicely weighted composition. It kind of feels a bit like yin and yang. It's like all's good in the world. This is such a relaxing piece. It's just very cool, Sean. Dave, being the king of Draw This in Your Style, has of course done 2, because of course he has. I really love that Dave took the Draw This in Your Style to kind of its cultural ancestor and played with the traditional Japanese brushstroke style and kind of focused on the Kappa character as an individual. The line art is really lovely. I love the flow of the quick ink and then those little breaks in the brushstrokes too. I think it adds like this lovely mixture of textures to it. And yeah, it's just so new as well for what I've seen from you, Dave. I mean, I love that when you do these challenges, you push yourself just into so many new styles and so many different ideas. Your artwork is always exciting because you're always like willing to take on challenge and push yourself. I find it really inspiring to see Dave's art, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who thinks that. And yeah, Dave's second piece is for the artist Nesh Art. I'm pretty sure he was hoping I would mispronounce that. Maybe I did. But yeah, it's another fantastic challenge of mediums to his more refined digital style this time. I mean, I'm just going to leave it on describing Dave as defined, I guess. I think he'll enjoy that. Troy has decided to create another universe where we didn't get Godzilla or Mothra, but instead we got the almighty Kappa and Red Panda. This is just so ridiculously epic, Troy, that it's kind of hard to know what to say here other than, you know, just to sit in silence and behold it. Yeah, I love the styling, and I love that Troy's mixed it with that kind of classic horror film movie poster style that he did for Inktober. He's just so brilliant at it, and I never would have imagined this, you know, but man, it was worth painting the original just to see it. Thank you so much, Troy, you are fantastic. Emily did this beautiful painting for the Draw This in Your Style where she's taken the two characters and reflected them against one another in this kind of picture book style illustration. I think my favourite part is that kind of dreamy quality that it has. I'm not really sure how you did it, if it was maybe the textures or the colours, but it all just feels very dreamlike and magical. I love the atmosphere that you created in your version. I think it might be a bit jarring now that thinking about it, that I've put yours and then I've had Troy's just before it, but I think at the same time it kind of shows you how diverse and special you guys are. You just bring so much creativity to your work, even when this is like the same like beginning start of material. Nadia always creates art that has these really strong compositions and her shapes as well. I mean, I shouldn't really be shocked at this point that her interpretation was going to have this great through line diagonally that connects the two characters together into this really like strong composition. Both of the characters and the settings, it just has more of a natural tone to it. It feels a little bit more realistic and natural. I think that's so interesting to see. Like, she's played with the tones and the hues, and it's changed so much about the characters and added all these textures. And yeah, I think Nadia's taken so much by taking it traditionally and taking these like colour tones into her own mind and how she wants to do it. Yeah, I'm struggling to talk for all this, you know, guys, because I'm very touched. Halumpa created this gorgeous illustration that's framed by this kind of semicircle of faded light. My god, the colours, Sonia, they are beautiful. I kind of want to just recreate my own painting so that I can use this colour palette. It's just so gentle and relaxed, both in tones and the shaping of the characters. The way that they're barely touching noses too, it's just so delicate and sweet. There's a real atmosphere here too, and it really makes me appreciate Sonia's storytelling. There's always a wider story being told in her art that I really love to see. We have a wonderful new artist joining Prom Squad this month, so please say a warm hello to Louise. Louise created this beautiful illustration here, inspired by my Draw This in Your Style, that adds this whole other story beat to the original. It just makes me smile, it just makes me happy. Seeing the fish and the panda interacting this way and just creating this whole second part to the story, it feels like we're collaborating on it, Louise, and I just love the way that you've taken it and interpreted it. Thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you are inspired to join us with our next prompt too. Just a quick note, guys, but I did see Sammy's piece for the Draw This in Your Style earlier this month, but I cannot find it or her now, so Sammy, if you're out there, please let me know what happened and how to find you. I'm going to send my love and hopes out into the ether and hope it finds you. But finally, my mum, Twi Rob, did a stitch along / stitch this in your style this month, which honestly I didn't even know existed, but I am glad I do now because this piece is just stunning. The light spring colours and the mixture of different thread techniques that she's used really just blend so beautifully together to create this, full hoop design. I think the rabbit has to be my favourite part. Just, look at the fur, guys, and that layered shading that she's done. It's really impressive. She's got skills to pay the bills. But yeah, I feel very spoiled as well that I get to see these in person now, because they're even more impressive close-up, guys. Very, very well done. And that was everyone's entries for this month's Prompt Squad Draw This in Your Style. As always, it's been so fantastic to see what everyone's come up with, but especially this time, seeing how unique and personal all your styles are. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing them and for doing my Draw This in Your Style. I'm just very spoiled. So with that, let's get on to the next prompt. As I'm so flipping late to this party, and I heard the greatest prompt the other day, that is very, very timely as well, I've decided to take control from the wheel and I've decided to choose the next 2-week prompt, because that's the only way we're going to get back to the normal time, are we? So, it's gonna be...
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint?
Yeah.
A mega pint? Suggested by Zoe, the mega pint. I know a few of you guys are following the trial pretty religiously, but even if you're not, I thought this is such a great word that we should all do our part as the Prompt Squad community to get it into the dictionary by creating some art inspired by it. So we've got a bit of a shorter deadline this time, but let's just have some fun with it, guys. Create a piece of art inspired by the monumental Megapint. I'm really excited to see where you guys take this. I think it's going to be a good laugh to see them all together in the next video too. And yeah, just let's have a nice, fun little prompt for this much shorter deadline. The only rule of Prompt Squad really is to please add the hashtag Prompt Squad to your post, either here or on YouTube, or here on YouTube? Yeah, here on YouTube or Instagram, so that I can find it, and I'll make sure to get it added into next month's video with all of your details included. The deadline will be the 1st of June. I know, I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get the video up a lot faster this time so we can all enjoy the little art show of Prompt Squad members and hopefully have a lot more time to do next month's prompt. I really hope you're looking forward to trying out this next prompt and that you all have a great month of arting. Take care of yourselves and I'll chat to you again soon. Bye!